Blip 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 blip. Oh, hello. I'm back. Right, okay. Candles. Fantastic. More candles. Candles. Why can't I take a candle? I want a candle. Is it nicely scented? Can I light it? Where's my smell-o-vision? After all this talk of a moon, we finally get to see the moon. And it looks rather pretty. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye out for random moving silhouettes.
The moon over the Sanford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
I feel at this point things should start coming together. Okay. While this is going to be a slight detour from what looks like to be the obvious route, I feel a need to go down here. Well, in all truth, I feel a need for... Come back. Cheap. Fine, I won't go that way. I'll go this way. No doubt you'll do exactly the same bloody thing. No? You're not doing the same thing over here. There's just a candle. That's it. Hi, candle. Do I get an achievement for that? Distant flame. Walk over a rickety bridge to get to a candle. There's a candle all the way up there. Is Esther up there? Or is that where my character takes a plunge off the cliff? After which point nobody says, come back.
We shall begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
So here's the thing. While I agree that car analogies help to explain just about everything, whether it be computers or insurance, or my job, or just about anything. If someone can't quite grasp the concept, I'll generally find that if you can bring it back to automobiles or themes surrounding automobiles, like repairs or purchasing, whatever, people understand it a lot better. This is trying to draw automobile analogies, and I do not have a bloody clue what it's on about. There's a lot of light over here. Achievement, Mothman. Oh. More car pieces. So, we're coming to the conclusion that there was definitely a car wreck. Just saying. Just a guess. Lots of lines on the cliff, a radio tower. Somewhere on the English coast, perhaps.
There were chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hands shook.
Ah,
He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision for the peddling of antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and whole new compounds would be summoned into activity.
light from heaven shone around him. Okay. I'm now trying to remember the Dance of the Man-Whore and Quest of the Man-Whore, the two songs mentioning yogurt. Available on YouTube. Not necessarily safe for work. Actually, not at all safe for work, no matter where you work. Not, you know, too overboard, but definitely
From here,
weird.
I could see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Okay, so there's letters. I'm not even going to try and read that. So these are letters turned into paper boats. They were set sail by our esteemed colleague here. So we're on an island as opposed to the mainland. Was he stranded? Did he choose to come out here? On a sudden light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. Potatoes or eggs? Eggs. Okay. Nope. That's just gonna do a comeback, so maybe don't want to go there. Do I want to go there? Up we go. Game needs sprint function. Definitively. I have gotten to the point where I'm over-enunciating my words. And that said, I guess the objective is to get you to look at the scenery more, appreciate all the lovely texturing and the ambiance, the lighting that's rather swish. The skybox looks alright.
The pain in my leg sent me blind for a few minutes as I struggled up the cliff path. I swallowed another handful of painkillers, and now I feel almost lucid. The island around me has retreated to a hazed distance, whilst the moon appears to have descended into my palm to guide me. I can see a thick black line of infection reaching for my heart from the waistband of my trousers. Through the fugue, it's all the world like the path I have cut from the lowlands towards the aerial.
I'm not sure those are painkillers, but yeah, you go on like that. There's that figure again. There's that figure again, up there. Ah ha ha, that's the cliff where we saw the candle before. That's the figure up there. Going behind the mist. Is it going to disappear? That figure's going to disappear, isn't it? It's already started to disappear. Oh no, there she is. There she is. Hello. Let's try going up here. No. Yep, of course, goes out of sight. So you can just despawn her. Why not?
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fibre, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Something about proceeding on his journey. Is that where she was supposed to be? Thought I saw her up here. But is she somewhere else? Let's have a look. It's probably going to be all the way up there, isn't it? Yep, it's going to be all the way up there. All the way up to the aerial tower. Oh, ye of the insanely slow walking speed. I'm sure I've climbed mountains in less time than you. I used to be a cat. Every day the same. Bored from 9 till 10. Cold and indifferent to lunch. Indifferent thereafter. And here's come the... yeah, sure. And a 3-something thought. Oh dear. Oh dear, we can see where this is going, can't we?
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Synapses or synapses? I'm not sure. Suddenly purple hue. Purple wine, purple wine. And if you have one of those, you should probably see a doctor. I hear there are medications for it.
Returning to my car afterwards, hands still shaking, and a head split open by the impact. Goodbye to tearful aunts and traumatized uncles. Goodbye to the phenomenal. Goodbye to the tangible. Goodbye Wolverhampton. Goodbye Sanford. Goodbye Cromer. Goodbye Damascus. This cliff path is slippery in the dew. It is hard to climb with such an infection. I must carve out the bad flesh and sling it from the aerial. I must become infused with the very air.
What? And it came to pass that as I made my journey, blah blah blah. Okay, so I'm meant to go up there, but let's stop by here first. There'll be more ramblings of the madman in here somehow. More stuff carved in. Oh, look, the door's over here. Another candle. You're not meant to be there, are you? This is a bunker. What have they ripped that from Half-Life 2, Episode 1? There was a map in Was it Half-Life 2 Episode 1? No, it was just Half-Life 2, wasn't it? There was a map that was reused in, edited for use in Day of Defeat Source. It's called DoD Omaha. What on earth is all that carving going on? I can hear a hammer and chisel into the rocks. It's carving these lines out of the chalk. And blah 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 blah. Nonny 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 nonny. Ying tong diddle I pa. Ying tong ying tong from leave heave a hum the hay. Up we go. Come on, you can make it. Carve this infected flesh from your body and launch it into
A gull
the wind.
perched on a spent bonnet, sideways, whilst the sirens fell through the middle distance and the metal moaned in grief about us. I'm about this night in walking, old bread and gull bones, old Donnelly at the bar gripping his drink, old Esther walking with our children, old Paul as ever, old Paul. He shakes and he shivers and he turns off his lights alone.
Interesting. Of course, I get the feeling we'll get to the end of this and there won't be a definitive explanation as to what this is trying to convey, and it will be down to the player's interpretation of the story to try and understand what has happened to this poor troubled soul. Stop carving into the rocks. Stop it. Climbing to the rocks, or is it just wind? That's just wind on the fence. Clingy, clingy, clingy as I come up to the area.
I've run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air.
Do I have to climb up the antenna? Yes, I do.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. You've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
And he jumps. And in the falling moments, I'm sure, we will see... Come on, keep a lookout for her. Where is the shrouded figure? That's gonna hurt, isn't it? And no. The shadow of a bird. could have just skipped trying to read all the stuff on the cliffs and waited for this moment. I get a nice little flyby at the appropriate distance to read it. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, chord change. There's the bird flying. Its shadow unaffected by the light of the candles, and distinctly not present upon the water. Probably because the moon is over towards the right, so quite why the shadow was cast towards the right as well is beyond me. And fade and relax.
Come back.
Come back. Come by, come by. Herding sheepdogs. Herding sheep with sheepdogs. A black screen. Ambient noise. The player assumes that something is going to happen. He is perhaps mistaken. He would like an explanation. He clicks his mouse. Space, enter. Escape. Oh. Resume. Come on. 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 Come. Oh, no, no, no. Let's not even go down that route. Is that it? Well, this is embarrassing and awkward. And annoying. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is making me look like a complete fool. I have been sitting here, waiting for the black screen to show something, and it has failed to do so. I think it is time to stop the recording. So, that's it. That's Dear Esther. I really don't know what to think of that. Conclusion is sort of, yeah, it's nice, relatively ambient. Certainly a very casual walk through 4 source maps with some sort of story that I can't quite piece together at all. Something about a car crash, an infection, some kidney stones that turned into the island that we were walking around. I fortunately got this game as part of one of the Humble indie bundles, humblebundle.com. I wouldn't really recommend buying this. Not for the price they were asking when I last checked on Steam, anyway. So, that's it. That's Dear Esther. And see you later.